Dear members and our guests, welcome to our webinar, which is prepared by our KOSDER Akademi. We decided to organize series of flag presentations among most chosen flags by our members, our Koster fleet. The Panama is the first flag. And we have two guests today. The first one is the Consul General of Panama in Istanbul, Mr. Juan Jaime del Valle.
Yes.
And second is the engineer Ricardo Chacon. Welcome. Welcome to our webinar. We plan to take your, let's say, the 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And we have 5 topics. I would like to say the first one is the Panama Ships Registry overview. Second one is recent regulatory changes and circulars. And the third one, technical challenges. Fourth, decarbonization and sustainability, which is very popular nowadays. And the last one is the transforming maritime with the result. I think as from today, maybe you know that there will be in IMO, they will vote today to define shipping decarbonization path, net zero framework. And yesterday, President Trump declared a message, maybe you know, saying that please reject reject this, but we will see what will happen today. Dear Consul, you have a presentation. I want to give you the word. Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yusuf, and thank you everybody part of the KOSDER Akademi. First of all, I wanted to express how thankful I am of being part of the first flag registries that are presenting in your KOSDER Akademi. And that being said, I know that this was the second attempt to do our presentation. I want to apologize. I was on a sick leave during our last effort to do the webinar. So once again, I thank you everyone here for having me and for having Mr. Chacon, because I hope this presentation is a fruitful presentation that can allow more insights, more information. Sometimes it's good to review what's being done. And having that said, I will go ahead and share our presentation.
Dear Consul, before you starting, I want to say something.
Sure.
We have also 3 ships under Panama flag. Okay. I think this kind of webinars are will be very good because we would like to increase our relationship and also understand each other, what you are expecting from ship owners and what we expect from flag as a ship owner. And I think today this webinar will be good for everybody to understand each other.
Excellent.
Thank you. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, I will proceed here.
Yes.
You let me know when you're able to see my slides.
Okay, your slides are visible now.
Okay, perfect. Since I just have the window on a small window on my computer, feel free to stop me if you lost me in sort of connection or something like this.
Okay, I will do that.
As I was saying, first of all, thank you everyone from the KOSDER Akademi. Thank you, Mr. Yusuf. Here we will cover Panama Ship Registry is being renewed through our strategies for a new era. My name is Juan Jaime del Valle. I am the Panama Consul General here in Istanbul in our office. I will move this here. We will cover our agenda regarding Panama Registry. First of all, to have a quick overview of our recent global events. We will have a deep dive in the recent regulatory changes and circulars. After that, we will cover technical challenges covered by Mr. Ricaute Chacon, our engineer from Segumar office, and also the decarbonization and sustainability topics. After that, transforming maritime with results will be ended by myself, and we will start right away. First of all, why Panama over other registries? Just to have a quick overview about the Panamanian registry is we're a safer fleet. We have a significant reduction in casualties across the fleet, 100% digital and agile processes with our recently established REN and e-certificates, a long-term partnership with ship owners and younger ships, active policy to remove higher risk vessels from the registry. We have a rigorous inspection enhanced pre-check process that ensures only the compliant ships fly under the Panamanian flag. We have a global recognition return to the Paris MOU whitelist and Tokyo MOU compliance. And we're a stronger reputation leading the innovation to block shadow fleets with stricter STS controls. The Panamanian fleet today represents around 8,785 vessels, approximately, counting every day. And that represents 240 million gross tonnage in deadweight, which represents the percentage of the world fleet of 14% in the latest Clarkson's research. Panama and Turkey are a powerful partnership. We represent the 18% of Turkish gross tonnage registered with Panama, is registered with the Panamanian flag, which we are very proud and we're very happy to say that our partnership every time is growing and getting stronger. And we have an active presence as here, myself, as the Istanbul consulate. We have a technical office and a merchant marine consulate, which makes all registrations procedures inside our consulate. And this is a new announcement. I hope this is the first announcement of many more that actually KOSDER Akademi will be the first ones to know about. Next week, we're formally announcing the opening of our regional documentation center for seafarers.
It is also in Istanbul?
Yes, this will be in Istanbul in our same consulate offices. How we do this? We do this by personalized attention into the maritime markets. We have a competitive rate strategy with a legal security and state-backed registry and technological investment. These are all the pillars of the Panamanian registry, which make the essence of it. Why the Panamanian registry has become or is always looking for new possibilities, new markets, to understand new customers, because we're around the world with more than 53 consular offices and 22 international technical Segumar offices. We have also seafarers documentation offices and are 100% operational 24/7 around the world. Just recently stated news is that the IMO General Secretary official visit we recently had last month, where Mr. Arsenio Dominguez gave some words of advice and as well recognition for being a Panamanian in the IMO. And here's just a short video which we translated. And this was basically a introduction, first IMO visit, and also we had our first president a seminar made in Japan to ship owners, specifically to ship owners in Japan, who strengthened and elongated the word of our strategy to the maritime industry. There are regulatory changes because the Panamanian registry changed its vision. And our vision now is the quality over the quantity of vessels that we register. That being said, there are 4 particularly laws that are on our Panamanian laws and the decrees that has been released. Just to name a few of them, the latest one is the Executive Decree 512, which the Article 1 orders that the registration from the Merchant Marine of all Panamanian vessel owners, operators that are included in the international sanctions list. This is one and the latest executive decree, due that our Merchant Marine law is backed by the state, and we as Panamanians need to enforce the type of registries, the type of vessels, company owners, and operators that fly under the Panama flag. We also have implemented some other measures like the Law 57, which denies vessels from registry if linked to harmful activities to national interests, and also the grounds of the ex officio in the Article 47, which involves smuggling for illegal clandestine trade or piracy or to commit any type of offense. Why is this important to mention during this webinar? Because we're prioritizing the fleet quality, as we were saying, over the quantity. On October 18 of 2024, we established the Executive Decree 512, which I just recently mentioned, and it was placed on our official gazette of our Panamanian law, outlining the cancellation of vessels or registered owners listed in the following sanctions list, taking into account the U.S. Department, the OFAC, the United Nations Security Council, the European Union's sanction, and the United Kingdom sanctions. With that type of enforcement, we have canceled approximately 140 vessels, which represent 9 million gross tonnage approximately. And this places us in a path towards cleaning the house from the inside out in order to have vessels that are not part of any sanctions list. Some key additional measures that we've implemented are the flag supervision program, which are part of the pre-check analysis, the registration on entry for bulk carriers and oil tankers over 15 years old, which was recently announced, the improvement of the evaluation process for flag safety inspectors, and the work.
Pardon, one question.
Sure.
I know that there is age limitation for bulk carriers and oil tankers, but what about general cargo vessels? Let's say for Koster tonnage. Is there an age limitation?
Okay, the limitation for the age of the general cargos is basically during the evaluation of the pre-check analysis. Okay, and one of the real factors is also the age of the vessel. The vessel over 15 years, they specifically not mentioned they deny, but majority is refused. Yes.
Okay.
But there is no specific mention like a they deny. But 15 years older and later on the statistic inside of the flat, like when we did was related vessel over 50, no? And then this including part of our fleet that the vessel general cargo are normally some of these majority age of 50 years.
Okay.
Continuing, work is currently under the way on the due diligence reassessment plan for flag suppliers and the reduction of the age of the fleet. This is part of our additional measures that are also part of our objectives for our administration. Now, we're going to continue with the technical challenges for the same vision, quality over quantity. I hand it over to Mr. Chacon.
Well, good day, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to participate. My name is Ricardo Chacon, now in charge for the Shipowners Turkey. I am very glad to be working as my flag administration in your real nice country, a beautiful country, a beautiful food, and so nice food. I have my short experience in your country, and we are really open to have a very good friends and very good cooperation with our customer and clients in Turkey. Okay, technical challenge. Okay, for technical challenge, I will shortly explain something relating to the forest concentration campaigns. Okay, because one of the challenges I found in the region specifically is about the education, training, and crew awareness about, the duty on board of the ships. So this is one in terms when we evaluate the result of our PSC for Italy or Mediterranean mode. No? Okay, I will personally explain about measures implemented by me. In my previous time when I developing my duties in another office, I want to share, for example, how we do. Okay, we know that every time the CIC campaign is held for 3 months from September to November every year, and every year is a specific topic. Okay, well, I am sharing to you one we do in 2019. Okay, but before that one I also implemented in 2018, and I have record of that, and subsequently every year. Okay, what is the main target of implement in advance? Because we start to disseminate this information to all of client and customer in the region where I was working before. And then we made the exhaustive. It's so long, more longer, but I cannot show all in the presentation. For all the topics related to the CIC, plus the emergency equipment, more exhaustive, okay? We explain to our clients like, okay, implement this measure, there is no cost involved. They have not to pay anything, but the benefit they gain will be, when we compare in terms to cost and the benefit they gain in that way. Because why? I explained also to my clients, like I say, okay, you know the nationality of your crew, you know the name, the passport, but are you really aware, are you really knows that this member taking care of your property? They are really well understood the situation, they very well knows about the duties. And then this was a proactive measure. As I say, we started to implement before the campaign. And then, one more. Okay, what was the target? I am sending and visiting my clients, and the clients spread to all their fleets. All the fleet they given to a specific instruction is contained in my pre-check. No, the master and the chief engineer with the assistant of the chief officers and engineer officers, they start to create the education. This is one of the challenges I found it also here. And the master on board started to implement the brief education, and they spread to all their crew, no? And there is most benefit we gain because, and then after the master report to the owners and report to our Shipowners office where I was working before, that they implementing, the crew is aware, the crew is prepared. Why? Okay, in some aspect, if we cannot be assured that all these vessel PSC board the inspection, but when they started in September, the PSC campaign, the crew is prepared. Okay, they feel confidence. The crew on board is confident in their duty. They are familiar. They know what is the target, what they're looking for the PSC. With this measure, we started also to reduce the deficiencies. Okay, also I explained to the owners or my clients like this smooth operation avoid or cause delays. You know, there is no delay that cause cost of money for delay at port. You know, and then master reply back to us, and we start also to create not a flat administration communication only with the company. We started communication directly with the master on board of the vessel, and we send the motivation message to the master. Okay, and so many masters started to interacting directly with us. Of course, they copy the companies in the message, and they say, oh, we do that, and say, oh, it's great, can continue like this. You have a very good professionalism on board of vessel. They are very motivated in that part, no? And we reduce the percentage of the PSC in that process. They start to make the drills, and they also evaluated the safety management system on board, you know, fire drills, all the records they provide to us. You know, we measure the competence of the crew. That's what I say to the owner. Are you sure your crew on board is prepared? You know, this is a measure from their office. We are proactively helping the clients like to measure the competence of their crew on board or their property. You know, this is a huge investment. Okay, continue. Well, also as a technical challenge, you know, one of the challenges like is the PSCS history, vessel navigation, banned vessel. Also, as you say about the general cargo ship, also age, you know, performance by the owners, and so on. Okay, well, now we are talking about our technical challenge too, or related to the return to the Q21, and also in the situation in the Paris or gray mode. Okay, also as background, why the Panama took the decision for vessel oil and gold over 15 years, you know, because when we take the statistic for the last 3 years in the principles, memorandums of understanding, like Tokyo, Paris, and US Coast Guard, the average of the age result most vessels being 10 over 15, as this is 64%. No, this is one. And also another topic is, you know, now about the oil tankers over 50 years, product of the evaluation in the head office, result like this vessel has been involved in the sanction list. This is one of the reasons. Also, well, as technical challenge, we also can mention like, you know, now MARPOL Annex 6, there is so many regulations. Well, it's not clear the future about this situation. As well, the Hong Kong Convention, as you know, like the industry is starting to prepare like the vessel for recycle, because itself in the content of the nature of the Hong Kong Convention is prepared vessel for, you know, international ready for recycle certificate. This is another issue. Okay, well, as a technical challenge, also I will talk a bit about certificate process. Okay, well, about certificate process, I can address like, okay, when I performing duties on quantities, the certificate is well known related to the owner, company, and management vessel. But unfortunately, some of the reason, not the only one, is like some vessel like a training with a no package of certificates. There are different types of organizations involved in the certification process, and during the PSC, inspection is difficult to who is the responsible or who is the addressing the responsibility of that vessel. I will make a short history brief, my personal experience. Like I visited my clients and I know the name of the company, but when we are more confident, I realize like his last name is the name of the company they are handling for so many years, you know, because they have the historical background of historical family relation for handling the vessels and so on. Well, continue. Okay, we talk now about the performance monitoring acceleration program. The objective is mitigate the risk associated with the substandard vessel. Key action. Now in the whole office, we are defining the vessel in terms of the risk for the warning and critical. No medium risk, okay, taking the pre-arrival checklist for the certain ports, such as those of US Coast Guard, Paris Mode, and Tokyo Mode. Also very actively Australia and China, okay. High risk ship, critical, increased frequency of the additional inspection of the ship with the rating and additional SMS checks in general, including operational companies, both detained ship and ship with deficiency. In the next slides, I will be more deeply explain something. Okay, monitoring the performance in compliance with the international regulation and with the purpose of strengthening safety, operation, efficiency, and compliance with the maritime standard. A serious measures has been implemented for medium and high-risk vessels registered under the Panamanian merchant fleet. The main purpose of this action is to ensure the vessel comply with the established requirement and to optimize the performance of the Panamanian merchant fleet by adapting best practice, reducing maritime safety risk, implementing rigorous inspections, and stringent supervision and control mechanisms. Key actions: medium risk warning vessel, pre-arrival checklist at certain regions. High risk, increased frequency or additional inspection of the ship under this status and additional verification of the safety management system in general. Okay, well, in this specific topic, the head office has been taking decisions like not only for some certain vessels that have been defined as a critical vessels. We are not only requesting the additional survey based in the PSC report. There are some vessels that the deficiencies, even if it's not being detained, we found it during the evaluation, the recurrence of the same deficiency, even if it's from different modes, you know, Mediterranean mode or Black Sea mode. They are inspected and the deficiency has been found as followed up by the other modes. In that particular vessels, we are making more enforcement of the regulation. And then with this requesting that the additional inspection to the ships or to the company in some other cases where it's involved more than 2 or 3 vessels. Yes, as well that in some particular vessel is also necessary to carry out an additional survey inspection by the recognized organization that is handling the statutory certificate. But of course, not for all vessels. So in some certain vessel, like is defined as a really critical vessel. Okay, other measure, additive programs for the recognized organization, training program and strict evaluation of flat states inspector, reduce the fleet age. The carbonization.
Pardon, Mr. Chacon.
Yes, go ahead.
You are in Istanbul, let's say, for six months. I think I hear that from our members, they are facing a problem in Italy, especially in post-state controls in Italy. What do you suggest us before visiting Italy? Which points the ship owners and ship managers has to pay attention?
Well, for my personal point of view, this is not a specific illness, no? There is very plural situations around this result of the PSC detention for the vessel. Will be depending on the case by cases. But for me, it's very important that the owner in the region understood the implicity of the MLC conventions, because I've seen, I'm so sorry, but I cannot address like a clear statistic, but honestly, I have to be deeply honestly, like, okay, there are some issues with PSC in Italy, and sometimes we are not totally agree with when they made the enforcement of the inspection on board of the vessel. But at the same time, that there is so many easy actions, like the owners can be prevented to be detained. I will very frankly speaking that, for example, vessel arriving to Italy and they are not clean itself in the interior of the vessel. Some situation like, okay, it's a objective, it is evidence. It's in fact when they put the foot in the gangway and they enter to the vessel, and you find this some vessel, not all, some conditions like is not favorable in terms to avoiding these PSC detentions in the area. Also, like, for example, sometimes the crew is not well understood, because this is when I started to talk about our challenge. The crew is not very well understood the situation. I have to be honestly, during these months, I try to replicate the same action I did before in other countries, but has not been well accepted. I had not find the same feedback, And when I check in the PSC report, not all, but majority, in these months, September started the campaign. They know very well about what is the targeting. Only 6-7 questions will be involved for the CIC. But sooner or later, in the PSC, crew is not familiar, the equipment is not working, so like I don't want to say like the fault is only to one side or to another, but they have really to be taking the necessary measure to protect in a better way their properties, prepare the vessel, not only the departure and thinking about the cargo. They pretend about the cargo because, okay, make money is good. But when I said in my ideas many years ago, I'm not talking about the convention series measure I implemented. I am not selling the idea like, okay, this is the questionnaire. No, I am saying from the point of view saving cost operation. One of the main issue, honestly, from my side, and they know at the end and the deeply, because I am newly here. Most of some of them, they have several years operating vessel here. And one of the main topic is that crew through training and vessel conditions, like for example, some cases like toilet not clean, laundry, cabin, immediately when they go on board and found that they giving the tools to the PSC to be more strange. That's one of my personal consideration, because we also implement the pre-arrival. One of the measures maybe I can be try to taking or implementing for is the pre-departure. But sooner or later, there is a cost to pay that when vessel is detained, instead to be prepared to avoid detain. Make money is good, as I say, but I will repeat that. But save money is more important, because every hour at port is a huge cost for them. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Nowadays, continent, Mediterranean and Black Sea freight market is not good. Saving every cent is very important. And I agree with you. Most of the items are, in fact, they are very easy, but some of them really related with the crew. and cleaning of the vessel and MLC related matters can be rectified by the ship's crew. I fully agree that if the owners or ship managers is informed timely by the crew, that points can be rectified within very short before visiting the, let's say, Paris countries. On the other hand, it's good to know that the Panama flag is fully obeying OFAC and European Union rules in order to show them how this flag is clean and following the international rules. It is also good. We will see. It seems that flag is trying to upgrade themselves and showing all authorities their best willings. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Okay, decarbonization and sustainability, innovation and sustainability, the flag of the maritime future, pre-register to enforce mandatory traceability, STS, ship-to-ship transfer. Later on, we are going to talk more about these issues, operation. Fleet renewal strategy, phasing out of older tonnage, lowering the risk, fully aligned with the IMO 25th decarbonization goals. Okay, is established the STC notification. I have to say, I throw to our circulars, okay, at 217, Panama started just this year, last August 6th, to started the process for the ship-to-ship authorization by Panama flag, okay. This was established in a throw to the resolution 10C035 of April 11, 25. The measure aligned with the International Maritime Organization IMO standard has set to close the doors of the shadow fleet and strengthen its reputation as a flat state commitment to the industry. First ship registered worldwide to introduce more rigorous controls and mandatory traceability of the STS ship-to-ship transfer operation. During the first weeks of this measure, we have prevented operation between ship in the fleet and ship related to the shadow fleet. Incentive and clear industry, okay, how we are doing, reverting the fleet profile, staying aligned with the IMO GHG strategy toward decarbonization, incentives to the industry, and through to the special program for the new building, new technologies, and alternative fuel. Okay, also we are in the process to implement some incentive for the vessels, like annually, in the rate appear as a and B. We are also will implement some measure as discount. Okay, climate change, a decade of action to cut the GHG emission from ship, London Convention on the prevention of the maritime pollution by dumping of the waste of other materials, 1972. Okay, from 1903 to 1910, eco-ship, law number 57, more efficient vessel mechanism, new vessel of fuel, economic incentive for the rating use of fuel, through to the Direction General Merchant Marine awards discounts to the vessel that has achieved an operational energy efficiency index, thus encountering the relation use or fuel us to reduce the CO2 emission. E-book, safe navigation and policy to improve our fleet is personal and environmental. Panama has authorized suppliers. Some companies are already authorized to provide services as e-book. Okay, climate change, whales protection, through to the National Law 7 of 1978, 6 orderly traffic of the vessel within of the jurisdiction's water, the Circular 304 of 2014, The purpose of this circular is to inform all our users that International Maritime Organization, through to the Maritime Safety Committee, in its 19th session, adopt the following new strategic separation wells and routine measures other than the traffic separation. Well, this is for certain months in Panama from August 1st to November 30. You know that the wells are coming to Panama just to prevent, like, have so any incidents or, with the ships bound, considering that for Panama Canal, there are so many transit going in and out, but out north and south in Panama Canal. Yes. Okay, fast tracking paper is Segumar, reducing the use of paper and streamline paperwork for a customer in the most efficiency and environmentally friendly policies to reduce the use of paper at larger scale. Well, in 2015, as Panama Flood, we started to make that certificate electronically mode. At that time was newly in the industry. We faced some, at the beginning, inconvenience with the PSC. They had to start to be aware about the certificate electronically and using the QR code, and then after we can make the announcement, in these months, we started to use the eSegumar 2.0 that has been doing some upgraded from the IT departments in the head office for doing an issuance of all the certificates and authorizations better. All will be by electronic mode, or can be certified or verified by using the QR code or all the Segumar process. This includes the registry and all the certificates by flat at this moment. Well, ballast water, the big headed than before, thanks to Panama signature of the IMO. This important policy that regulates the ballast water in Panama and worldwide come into force. Well, actually, I had just got, as you say, like the PSC and this issue you mentioned before, like, this is a huge investment for the owner side. And in terms like, for example, when this vessel has been pointing out deficiency and malfunction of the equipment, I deeply believe at the end of the rope of cows is sometimes the crew on board is not well trained and well familiar with the use of such equipment. And I say, wow, this is a huge investment and you have to be sure that your company training that person to manipulate or use. Of course, this is not 100%. Things happen, sometimes the equipment is so damaged and so I also, for the ballast, I want to mention that there are so many ports or some ports that the ballast of the quality of the water. Also, totally agree. This can be resolved with impact or damage the equipment. And as I say, so huge, costly. We have flat administration for so owner approach off to develop and the plan. This is not costly. We also accept and helping them to develop the plan, existing plan, but implement procedures relating for the ballast water challenge. That this is also a good helping to the clients, like some course specifically that has been defined that this can be create problem for the system itself. That this is a way to save costs that is not in the table, but this is a way that they can prevent and anticipate, because this is a procedure itself. It's not so complicated. They can develop, and some certain ports they can use the system as the 1, the 2, or 4. There is some. It's not so difficult, but they can make the procedure and prevent any damage to their equipment on board. Okay. Well, in 2020, we started low sulfur fuel oil use implementation. IMO adopted the standard related to the use of low sulfur fuel, and Panama welcomes to the standard as member state of the Marco Convention started entering into force in March 1, 20, established the IMO 2020 fuel oil sulfur limit. Hong Kong Convention, as I mentioned before, inventory of hazardous material for ship calling EU ports. Okay, reducing the 2022-23, reducing the greenhouse gas emission ships, commitment to the reducing the initial IMO greenhouse gas emission strategy in all these aspects, mainly in the repercussions to the states, not only focusing to issue the ambitious level, promote the IMO Maritime Research Fund, this is part of Panama, by ensuring accepting the funding for all IMO members states. Emergency energy efficiency, revise of the IMO cheap fuel oil consumption data collection. We started in 2023, revision of the exit, CIC, parameters and rating values, air pollution prevention, continue with an experienced phase of the 2022 guidance for risk and impact assessment of discharged water from exhaust gas cleaning system.
Underwater noise pollution.
Okay, underwater pollution, we welcome to reduce recommendation by IMO policy. We are evaluating the implementation of the important ecological initiative that embrace green policy 2024-2025. No, the first calendar for the CIC. We started in 24-24, but this is for the 2023. Okay, underwater noise pollution. This is under developing guidelines for the reducing underwater noise from commercial ships to address adverse impact of the marine life. Biofueling 2011 guidelines for the control and management of the ship biofueling to minimize the transfer of invasive aquatic species. Guidelines for minimizing the transfer of invasive aquatic species of biofueling, hauling for recreation craft, guidelines for the evaluation of the 2011 guidelines for the control and management of ship biofueling to minimize the transfers of invasive aquatic species. Okay, well, I now give the words to our General Consul.
Pardon, may I have a question?
For sure.
For the better performing vessels, is there any incentives from a Panama flag? For example, one vessel passed port state surveys in best condition and no remarks, no arrest, nothing. At the end, is there any incentives?
Yes, Mr. Yusuf, actually, part of the Panamanian incentives are called the non-detention discount incentives,
Yes.
which are applied 24 months. Every 24 months, the discount is applied for the vessel on the annual taxes that they pay the next year. So if the vessel has not been detained in the last 24 months, it will be incentivized with a discount for the annual taxes of the coming year.
Okay, but the detention is from all memorandums or only for Paris?
For all memorandums.
All memorandums, okay. No detention from any, and then there will be a right for discount.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
And that all should be applied through our consulate with our shipping department in order to apply for the discount.
Okay, it's very good. Yeah. Maybe some of our members has no idea or they don't know this kind of incentives, but this is good news for them also. Definitely.
This is something that they can take advantage of. And we also have different incentives that we're not covering in this particular presentation, but it's something definitely to contact us in order to check the case-by-case scenario for different fleets that may be entitled to a discount or incentive.
Okay.
Just to wrap it up, Panama has increased its share of new buildings by 13%. This is 1 year of work, basically. And with that being said, we have also, since we're focusing on the quality of our fleet, we are also experiencing the least amount of marine casualties in the last 4 years, which is a great achievement for us, thanks to the strategies implemented by the Director of Marine Merchant with the pre-check, concentrated campaigns, and asset inspections. This has also been seen in the very serious marine casualties, where it has been the least amount of casualties in the last 4 years. Just to give a quick overview on how these regulations and decrees has been successful for our registry, we are showing in this slide the amount of applications that we have received and with the total amount of applications that we've been accepting. So we have accepted 75% total of applications, which of those 20% has been rejected and 5 of those has been conditional, which means that of the 69.2 ships entered to the flag, 30.8 went to other registries. What we're trying to do is to maintain this pre-check analysis for vessels of 13 years of old in average, approximately. So with this type of slide, you can have a more better understanding of where are we standing at in terms of the amount of vessels that we're allowing into the registry. And in the following slide, you can also have a very good understanding of the Decree 512, which I was explaining previously, which we have canceled 247 vessels, which represent 49 million gross tonnage. And of those 14 vessels are still in deletion process, approximately as of October 18. We have invested more than 7.7 million to combat the shadow fleet. And very importantly, we are trying to reduce the amount of average age with this type of decree. You can see on the right side that crude oil tankers account for 130 vessels, almost 10 million gross tonnage, and crude oil product tankers, chemical tankers, product tankers, shuttle tankers, and so on and so forth. And in the middle, we can see the percentage of the OFAC, the United Kingdom, and European Union sanctions lists that are being determined through this type of decree. That's basically it, what we wanted to cover with the members of the KOSDER Akademi. If you would like, we can answer a few questions and we can wrap it up.
Okay, till now there is no question. There is no question, but mostly I also asked questions. If it is okay, we can finalize it here. It's good to know that the Panama flag is aiming better conditions, let's say a higher quality for ship owners. I would like to thank you very much for your precious informations, and would like to say my sincere thanks to dear Consul Juan Jaime Del Valle and Engineer Ricardo Chacon Thank you very much.
Thank you.
thank
Thank you
you.
for welcoming us and be part of this webinar. Hope to be not the first one. Hopefully in the future, we can also make updates to this type of webinars and share more with the KOSDER Academy members.
We will be in contact, be sure.
Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.